Today is an exciting day because we are getting ready to do some shockwave therapy on one of our new horses. This is Marv. He was in one of our last videos and he is a 5-year-old thoroughbred that is in here for training. He was on the track about 2 years ago, so he's been off the track for a while and now he's just rehabbing, getting back into shape, and then he is going to be doing some hunter jumper work. So this is the new machine we are using. This is the EquiSculpt VIBE, and I will open it up and show you what it's like inside. All right, that's what it looks like, and then that's the machine. This is the shockwave handle, and then we will go ahead and power it up and show you. It's a very user-friendly machine, and it's a little different than conventional shockwave, so I'll talk about that too. All right, I'm gonna power on the machine, and the power is located in the back here. And it's nice, it has a digital screen. I'm gonna input the code. And then the nice thing is you can choose the body part you wanna work on. So on Marv, we are gonna work on his back first, and then we are going to do his hips and his pelvis, because I'll show you guys really quickly why we're working on those areas, because he has a hunter bump and lack of muscling in his hind end, just from not having the best of homes. And so you can see the hunter bump up there. He's had some issues with the sacroiliac ligaments. And so we just want to work on breaking up the scar tissue here in this area and just help bring more red blood cells and more oxygen to the cells in his back and his hind end. There you can really kind of see the hunter bump and what's going on. All right, so let me fire it up and then we'll get going. All right, so I'm gonna choose back right here. And then I am gonna go down to 30 on the settings. That's the lowest setting, millijoules, MJ. All right, now I started it there, and then Jess can start it on the head that she's holding, the handle. Now when you're doing the back, as we're doing on him, you do not go directly on the spine, you go on the side of the spine. Let me move the cord out of the way. There we go. Now she can control the on-off and the intensity and the hertz on the handle too. We'll show you that after. Now it gives suggested shocks that you're supposed to do. It tells you the attachment piece. We are using number 5 over there, and it says 1,000 shocks. So now it's counting the shocks. We're at 253. So I'll let her know once we get to 1,000. And then these are all the different attachments. You can use them with silicone covers, or you can use them plain with metal. The silicone covers are just if you don't want as intense feeling wave going, or you can remove it and use the metal if you want more intensity. There's some with kind of a deeper, if you want to go deeper, and that's ahead. Now, if you take off the silicone cover, you will need to use some type of oil or gel, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so Jess is working on his sacrum right there, working on the hunter bump to break down all the scar tissue. Now, this is a friendlier type of shockwave. You do not have to sedate the horse if they're used to things going on. Obviously, if it's a young horse or a feral horse, they wouldn't be used to all this noise, but for most horses, it's not a problem. Now, let me show you what we use. This is castor oil. And we use this, you can put it in a spray bottle, but it's kind of thick, or a roll-on. And if you're gonna use the metal attachments, then you would wanna spray with oil on the area. So I'll have Jess demonstrate that too once she's done up here. All right, let me zoom in a little bit right here so we can see what she's doing. As you can see, he's being pretty good. He's a little antsy just because his buddies are out. Nobody's in the barn. So he's like, oh, I want to be in too. And he is 5 years old, 16-3 hands. So she's going all along his spine with it. I think I'm going to go up to 35. I'm gonna go up a little higher on the shock. Yeah, you could hear that. Now if it's too intense, I can go down. And we are at almost 1,500 shocks because we're doing it on the pelvis. And then I'll show you spraying a little oil. This is castor oil. I think I said that, but we use castor oil instead of ultrasound gel because castor oil is supposed to help with pain and inflammation. So you can just get this at like your local pharmacy or on Amazon and get some castor oil and put it in a spray bottle, or the roll-on actually works better. I need to put ours in a roll-on. All right, now I'm going to have Jess stop. Well, he's doing really well right now. He's settling into it. He was very antsy before. So I think we'll just keep going for a little bit, Jess. Yeah, now we're on the other side of his spine. I'll go over here. He's being such a good boy. And we're gonna do about 1,000 shocks on his spine this way. And again, we're just kind of breaking up any scar tissue, bringing more red blood cells to the area, bringing more oxygen. Yeah, you're being a very good boy. And on the handle, you can also control the intensity, and you can pause it, and you can control the hertz, which is the speed of pulse. Now, when we're done with that, I'm gonna go tell her the shocks. We will switch to, I'll show you switching on the screen. Okay, so now we are going to go back here and select back. And okay, so now we're on back and we're gonna switch because we're gonna go to the pelvis, which is right here. Choosing pelvis. Now again, once you make a new selection, you need to go down on the energy level and then you can set your hertz. And recommended is 1,000 shocks per area and heads 4 or 5. This is 4 right here, which is metal. But you can put a silicone cap on it if you want, or just use the metal with oil or gel. All right, now she's finishing up on his pelvis. We're kind of making a T going down this area and then up across by the hunter's bump. And then once we're done with him, we're gonna move on to our next horse, which is a 4-year-old thoroughbred. And again, we're going up to about 1,000 shocks. We're working on our second horse. This is Shiloh, a 4-year-old off-the-track thoroughbred. And we're gonna do some shockwave on him, mostly focusing on his spine, similar to Marv, but he has a little bit of a roach back up there, and his hips just creak a lot. Although since we've been working on him, his hips are not creaking as much. So like every time he would shift his weight, we would hear creaking going on, and he's only 4. So I think just was a lot of tightness and soreness going on there. So we are going to actually pull off the silicone head and use the metal applicator with the castor oil, and we'll show you how that works. So Jess is putting the castor oil on his back and his pelvis. Now what that does, it's like ultrasound gel. It just helps the wave, electromagnetic wave, transfer better into the body. It's like ultrasound gel, except we use castor oil because it also helps with pain relief and inflammation. So it's like a more natural way of transmission. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and select on him. What do you think that would be, pelvis or back? I think it's
pelvis or back first.
I think it's back. So we're going to do his back first, and I'm going to select back. I'm going to go down to 30 on him. Start on 30. We have done 35. Now it says 4 or 5 headpiece. We have number 5 on there.
It says 8 hertz.
And yeah, you can turn it down to 7. Just going to slow down the speed of pulse a little bit. And then here we go. Now we're using just the metal applicator on him. Now Jess is doing alongside his spine first, and it is counting down the shocks right there. Now it says preset to 2,500 because if you get to 2,500, it will time out. It just doesn't want you to keep going and going. All alongside his spine. Now, as you can see, he is not sedated at all, which is really nice. That's what's nice about this type of shockwave. It's more, just less invasive. more user-friendly. You can use it on people, you can use it on small animals. And she'll probably just make 2 passes down his spine on either side, and then we'll do his pelvis. Counting down, so it's at 400. We'll go check out how he's doing. He doesn't seem to mind it at all. He's being really good, and he's only 4 years old. This is such a nice horse. He came into our resale program, but we don't know if we're gonna resell him. He's just too sweet. He is such a good boy. So pretty. Bled bay with his 4 white socks. I'll come in on this side. And show them how you can pause it. At any time you can pause it from the handle if you want to. And you can adjust your hertz, which is speed of pulse, and the intensity up there. All right, now Jess is done with his back, so we're gonna switch to pelvis right here. So I'm gonna hit stop, go back here, and then I'm gonna choose pelvis, and then I'm gonna go down to 30, he'll go 35. We'll see how he does on that, and start, and then she can activate it there. So now we're on 35 millijoules. Millijoules is how you measure shocks. And this is just doing his pelvis. Now this is just to break up any scar tissue, help with any pain and inflammation. And then it's counting down the shocks here. Can you see it counting down the shocks on there too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it just has so many shocks like that.
Okay. So that's good. You can keep track of it up there too. On the handle. And as you can see, it's pretty user-friendly. Oh, good boy. It's always nice when they sigh like that. You're just releasing. Now this is one of our PEMF machines, the EquiSculpt Pro. This one has PEMF plus infrared, and we have a couple other machines too. So if you're interested in learning more about the EquiSculpt VIBE shockwave machine, you can just look at the link in the description. And this machine also includes a course in training to become certified as a shockwave practitioner. So you get that when you purchase the machine. It's fairly inexpensive, and you can use it for personal use or add it to the therapy that you already do. All right, so that concludes today's video, and we will see you on the next one.